What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the stream. And today for you, I'm going to be recapping our second off season. As you can see, we are in spring training of 2024 right now, getting ready for our third season with those Las Vegas Vipers. You know what? I got a little bit aggressive this offseason. I was thinking to myself, you know what? It's time to flip the switch. It's time to start putting starting to accelerate, changing lanes. Let's try to speed up this rebuild a little bit. But at the same time, we didn't go too crazy. We wanted to make sure that we stayed on path and, didn't course correct too much. So first thing I'm going to show you is to take you through my roster and talk about some of the free agent signings we made. You may have just seen one there on the main roster. So you're going to see that our pitching rotation looks a little rough right now. I'm going to get to that in a minute, talk a little bit about my approach there and some of the things that went down there. Things didn't go exactly to plan this offseason, so that's why we are looking as we are right there. So first thing I want to talk about is the big name free agent signing that we have is Matt Chapman. There are a couple of good free agent third basemen out there. Rafael Devers was out there as well and very good, like 93 overall currently, younger than Matt Chapman. But I looked at Matt Chapman and I said, you know what? I kind of want the defense. I didn't want to neglect defense. I feel like I did that last year. And I wonder if that had some effect on the effectiveness of my pitchers a little bit. So I didn't want to neglect defense. I wanted some pretty solid defenders. And now I got Matt Chapman and Nicky Lopez on the left side of the infield. So that's pretty good defense. Chapman has had a decent franchise. He's not slugging like he has been in real life here. So that's a little disappointing to see that. But maybe those numbers can try to get him back. He's going to grow another 2 overall because I looked in. He has 91 potential. So maybe we can get those power numbers back up a few points. Overall, the other thing I like about Matt Chapman is he takes a lot of walks. I mean, his discipline's up to 87. What's been his walk rate in this franchise? Walk rate's over 10 in the franchise for the last few seasons. So that's something we really needed, especially in the middle of our lineup. Guys with a little bit more patience, a little bit of ability to work more counts. So I was pretty happy to get that. And also, I didn't want to go after Rafael Devers, partially because I got him in my Colorado Rockies franchise last year, and I kind of wanted to switch it up. But also, I didn't want to put another lefty into my lineup. And Matt Chapman is a strong right-handed hitter that hits lefties very well. So we actually kind of needed that. Another one of our top targets in the offseason was Ian Happ, the Cubs' Ian Happ. He was actually having a pretty decent start to the 2022 season in real life. He was sitting out there. I was between him and Harrison Bader. I did like Harrison Bader's defense in the center field, but I didn't really have a sufficient left fielder. And then I looked back and forth and I was like, Bader hits lefties well, but I need somebody who hits righties well if I'm going to pick up somebody like Matt Chapman. Again, Ian Happ picks up really good plate discipline with that 80. His walk rates have been over 10% as well, haven't they? Yep. Pretty solid, over 10% in this franchise as well. Again, contact numbers like Chapman's not great, but he got that 90 power against righties, so we're going to be seeing that most days against righties. Defense leaves a little bit to be desired, but he's a solid fielder. And he also has some deep positional versatility, so that'll be helpful for us if we do get some of our bigger names into the majors or we sign a bigger name in free agency. We can always move Ian Happ around. So the last bigger name we signed was Yasmani Grandal. 35 years old. He's going to get hit hard by regression this year because he's in that 35-year-old season, but pretty good defender. You see the fielding reaction numbers are what they are. Blocking numbers could be a little bit better, and the arm could be a little bit better as well, but really good hitter. This is a guy we want to stick into our lineup, veteran to really help out the young guys. I didn't want to rely on Ivan Herrera to give me production. I wanted to also put him into a bench role, let him kind of bring along a little bit slowly because his production in the major league time that he's had has not been great. So I like having Yasmani Grandal in there. Yasmani Grandal will probably be a trade chip. The other guys that we've signed probably not going to be trade chips come trade deadline, but Yasmani Grandal probably will qualify for that. And then the last free agent signing we made, second to last we'll talk about, is Willie Castro. I needed a guy who with some positional versatility. As you see, he's got third base, shortstop, left field, right field there. Also a guy who hits lefties pretty well off the bench, so you see the contact number up to 78, and runs pretty well. So this is a guy, good defense, good speed, a little bit of contact against those lefties. So this is the last guy on my bench. I needed somebody. I have Jeter Downs up, and I'm going to probably prefer him playing more time than Willie Castro, but I felt like Castro fit kind of a niche that we needed. So, and then the last guy we want to talk about as we shift focus to our rotation is Lance Lynn. So my plan going into the offseason was actually I wanted to make a trade with the Miami Marlins for either Sandy Alcantara or Trevor Rogers. And I zeroed in on Trevor Rogers because of the service time that he had left, but he was impossible to get, like literally impossible. I think the only way I could have gotten Trevor Rogers was if I traded like Matt Chapman, Nicky Lopez, and Yasmani Grandal or something. I had to trade all three of those guys just to get the bar barely even to try to get this. So I tried putting Gunnar Henderson on the block for him because I was willing to trade Gunnar Henderson for Trevor Rogers, and I could not get it to go through. So I also talked to the Atlanta Braves about Ian Anderson a little bit too, but he was being worth quite a lot as well. Couldn't quite pluck them from the Braves either. And it's kind of weird because both the Braves and the Marlins have a lot of young pitching depth. They have, Marlins have one of the top pitching prospects in all of baseball in Yuri Perez. So still couldn't get him out of there. That's kind of disappointing, but I guess we're just going to have to be patient, probably hit the starting pitching market free agency next season pretty hard. So, all right, a couple other signings we made that were lower key. We did sign Taylor Hearn, who is a former starter for the Texas Rangers. You see, did not have a good 2022 season as a starter, but I picked him up and put him in the bullpen as a lefty. I didn't like the lefties that were available in the relief pitcher market. I also could not find a lefty that made sense to trade for that I was happy with. So I like Taylor Hearn. The makeup with the 95-mile-an-hour fastball, decent slider, Ks per nine numbers up there at 76. I think he's maxed out on potential right now, but I think he's a guy that I can be pretty happy with. Only 29 years old, a couple years of service time, so maybe he could be a nice short-term piece for us in our bullpen there. We also picked up Keegan Aiken, a former top prospect for the Orioles. We switched him to relief pitcher as well. I think he's got 74 potential. It doesn't have as much nasty stuff in terms of velocity as compared to Hearn, but his K per nine numbers are higher. The hits per nine is a little bit concerning, but he doesn't walk people. So those two guys can be battling out of the bullpen early on. And then we also have Jacques Pachu on our 40-man roster. So we'll figure out if we go one or two lefties in the bullpen, depending on how those guys perform in spring training. Okay, so we also did make a couple trades. We traded Lars Nootbaar to the Mariners, which is, I usually don't make intra-division trades, but I felt like this one was okay. It's lower key. They needed a right fielder every day. Lars Nootbaar was up to 77 overall, so he's going to be probably playing in there every day or maybe coming off the bench, depending on how Kalenic is playing. So pretty stacked outfield for the most part for the Mariners, but a guy that they were interested in. And I went and I got Yohan Ramirez from them. This guy, I think he's maxed out on potential at 78. Yeah, he's maxed out on potential, so he's not going to grow anymore, but pretty nasty stuff. I mean, 90 hits per nine, 85 Ks per nine, 95-mile-an-hour fastball, 99 break. Is that going to be on his slider or is that on his fastball? Probably on his slider, I'm going to guess. Oh, no, wrong one. Yep, that's going to be on his slider. So nasty stuff coming out of the bullpen there. We needed sort of a back-end bullpen arm type guy. And this is a guy with a few years of service time. I'm pretty happy to get this kid. I feel like maybe, Lars Nootbaar is maybe not an underpay. It's probably maybe just slightly, but I'll take it. I mean, I'm going to screw over a division opponent any chance I get. So, and then the final move we made for trades is we sent Greg Deichmann and PJ Higgins. These were basically just trying to balance out the roster a little bit. I didn't have a use for Deichmann. I didn't really want to keep that many lefties on my 40-man roster, specifically outfielders. And then PJ Higgins, I'm pretty full up at the catcher position and didn't make sense to keep him around and just kind of holding up a roster spot. So I sent them to the Rockies for, I picked up Jonathan Daza. So that was basically a swap with Deichmann just so I could get a right-handed hitting outfielder instead of a left-handed hitting outfielder. So a little bit more athleticism out of Daza, probably a little bit better defense, more versatility out in the outfield as well. Way less power. Deichmann has a lot more power in his bat. Overall, a better bat too, but I'm okay having Daza on our roster now. And then I also picked up a young relief pitcher with B potential in Ronnie Collado. 93 miles an hour, so nothing too much smoke there, but 77 Ks per nine already. So this guy I'm excited about possibly in the future to see what he can develop into. So, okay. Just taking you through some of the pitching rotation battles. We have 6 guys battling for the final 2 spots in the rotation. So these are the 5 guys rated in order of their chance of making it, and then Cole Franklin in that long relief role. And then all of these guys here are battling for bullpen roles, and all of these guys have solidified spots in our rotation as is. And that's what our lineup looks like. We're not really going to be having any position battles. The only thing I want to maybe keep an eye out is the DH and second base positions, because Yermin Mercedes and Nick Gordon are going to be having guys nipping at their heels to try to take their spots. So I'm going to run through spring training real quick, and then I'm going to show you which guys make the roster and which don't. Okay, that's my non-DH lineups. Okay, going through, and I'm happy to get through there with no injuries. So we were 13-16. I don't really mind that much what we finished with, as long as nobody got hurt, which nobody did get hurt. So that makes me happy there. Okay, so let's check out some of the pitchers. So, all right. Bo Brisk, all right, we're going to keep him for right now. Bobby Miller was good. Brian Bello, keep him for right now. Asa Lacy, we're going to send back down. He still needs a little bit more work. Kyle Nicholas is a guy to consider, and then Cole Franklin didn't really have a good chance of making the starting rotation. Okay, looking at the bullpen, Taylor Hearn wasn't great. How was Aiken? Aiken was awful. Okay, with Pachot pitching as well as he did, I'm going to send Aiken back to AAA to start. All right, bullpen pitchers, let's see. Oh, both Uribe and Estrada were pretty good. So, the bullpen's going to have some trouble shaking itself out here. I'm going to have some tough decisions in the bullpen, so we'll come back to that. Hitters, Rene Pinto didn't even get in at bat. Yeah, okay. I'm fine sending Pinto down. I'm happy with what he gave us in the 2 years that we had him up there. His 2022 season was great. I mean, that was a great rookie season from him. But kind of fell off a little bit in 2023. Nice depth guy for now. Maybe we'll look to trade him in some type of a bigger deal, because he could probably help out some rebuilding team, I'm sure, other than us. Let's see. Ooh, good. +3 in both contact and power lefties for Michael Busch in the preseason. So 6 home runs, 357 average. Good to see that. Good to see Yerminator, 289, 6 home runs. So that's good. Dalton Kelly, I'm probably going to send him down, but let's see how some of the other guys are shaking out. These 2 guys both going to make the roster. Same here. Santiago Espinal is actually playing center field for us right now. So not a great spring training, but yeah, he's had a good track record for us with the last 2 seasons. So, all right. Leover Peguero, we're going to send him back down. No surprise there. Ian Happ, Mickey Moniak, Jonathan Daza. Jonathan Daza not going to make the roster. Mickey McDonald not going to make the roster, but good spring training for him. Okay, I'll send Dalton Kelly back down for now because I think I have enough lefties in my. So Moniak, yeah, I'm going to keep Moniak as my lefty on the bench right now, and then we also have Willie Castro. So. Yeah, I'll probably just send down Dalton Kelly. I think that finalizes my Major League roster in terms of hitters, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, so now I just have to shake out the pitching rotation here. So, okay, we're going to put all these guys over here. And then we're going to start putting the guys where they belong. So Glenn Otto, Brady Singer. Coleman's going to be in the rotation for sure, in the bullpen for sure. Frias is going to be in there. And then I think Taylor Hearn will be in there for sure. And then Tyler Ivey is the last guy. So, right, that's everybody. So, okay, we'll see what I have left to fill out here. So I have 2 rotation spots. Oh, true. Okay. I have 2 rotation spots for these 4 guys. Brisk was good. You know, 3 of these 4 are going to make it. I just need to determine which ones. You know what? Let's start with Bobby Miller And let's start with, yeah, I have a tough time saying no to Brisk. Well, he wasn't like great last year. He's more just kind of filling a role. So, okay, I'll send Brisk down. Do I want to do Bello in that 5th rotation spot or Nicholas? You know what? I will do Bello since he is one of our top pitching prospects, and then Nicholas will get the long relief role there. Okay. And then it looks like I only have space for one more relief pitcher. Brisk is going to be back down. Pacho, good spring training for him. Pretty happy to see that. Let's see. Abner, Uribe, Riley Thompson. I'll probably keep Jeremiah Estrada down just because he's at 69 overall. And it's only his first season on the 40-man roster, so I'm not going to rush him. Let's see him work down there. So, all right, these 3 guys I think are out. Damn, it's really hard to sit Pacho back down, but we'll start him at AAA. So, Abner Uribe or Riley Thompson? I'm going to take Riley Thompson. I don't want to rush Abner Uribe before he's ready. So, yeah, okay. So, that will be fine there. So, we are going to send down Brisk. He'll probably be back at some point, I'm sure. Pacho down, and then both of our closing pitchers get down. Okay, all right, so let's shake out the rest of our rotation. I just got to put Riley Thompson in. Wow, why didn't it go? There we go. Okay. Riley Thompson in the relief role there, or Dylan Coleman. Which one do I want? Let's start. I just don't want Riley Thompson with the 29 stamina to be like phasing out some of the. Some of keeping my guys from getting a lot of usage. Okay, Luis Frias or. You know what? I think Frias is a little bit better than Ivy, actually. Actually has higher potential. Okay, and then finish setting up our lineup like that. Opening day starter, we're going to give it to the big Lance Lynn. Singer comes in second, Otto, and then Miller and Bello to close out. We don't have a lefty in our starting rotation, which is something I usually like to have around a little bit. But that's okay. We'll start from there. I was trying to acquire Trevor Rogers for that exact reason, but so be it for the time being. So that is going to be our opening day rotation. I'm going to go equal out my roster with some of the AA and AAA rosters so I can make sure the guys are in the right spots. But in the meantime, between time, I thank y'all for tuning in, and I'm out. Deuces.